Nature is often hidden, sometimes overcome, seldom extinguished. Force maketh nature more violent in the return, doctrine and discourse, maketh nature less importune, but custom only doth alter and subdue nature. He that seeketh victory over his nature, let him not set himself too great, nor too small tasks, for the first will make him dejected by often failings, and the second will make him a small proceeder, though by often prevailing. And at the first let him practice with helps, as swimmers do with bladders or rushes, but after a time let him practice with disadvantages, as dancers do with thick shoes. For it breeds great perfection, if the practice be harder than the use. Where nature is mighty, and therefore the victory hard, the degrees had need be, first to stay and arrest nature in time, like to him that would say over the 24 letters when he was angry, then to go less in quantity, as if one should in forbearing wine come from drinking healths to draught at a meal, and lastly to discontinue altogether. But if a man have the fortitude and resolution to enfranchise himself at once, that is the best, optimus ille animi vindex lidentia pectus vincula qui rupit, dedeluc semel. Neither is the ancient rule amiss, to bend nature as a wand to a contrary extreme, whereby to set it right, understanding it, where the contrary extreme is no vice. Let not a man force a habit upon himself, with a perpetual continuance, but with some intermission. For both the pause reinforceth the new onset, and if a man that is not perfect be ever in practice, he shall as well practice his errors as his abilities and induce one habit of both, and there is no means to help this but by seasonable intermission. But let not a man trust his victory over his nature too far, for nature will lay buried a great time, and yet revive, upon the occasion or temptation. Like as it was with Aesop's damsel, turned from a cat to a woman, who sat very demurely at the board's end, till a mouse ran before her. Therefore let a man either avoid the occasion altogether, or put himself often to it, that he may be little moved with it. A man's nature is best perceived in privateness, for there is no affectation in passion, for that putteth a man out of his precepts, and in a new case or experiment, for their custom leaveth him. They are happy men whose natures sort with their vocations, otherwise they may say, multum incola fuit anima me, when they converse in those things they do not affect. In studies, whatsoever a man commandeth upon himself, let him set hours for it, but whatsoever is agreeable to his nature, let him take no care for any set times, for his thoughts will fly to it of themselves, so as the spaces of other business or studies will suffice. A man's nature runs either to herbs or weeds, therefore let him seasonably water the one and destroy the other.